Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, where's my brethren all around the world watching this video? Hope you're having a great day today. As you're tuning in, do yourself a damn favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and surely you will not be disappointed. Now, let's talk about what I would say is one of the most pleasant surprises I think we've seen in boxing in quite some time. So Saturday, as many of you know, this coming Saturday, there is a fight going on Showtime. The two main events of that card will feature the Charlo twins. You have Jermall Charlo taking on Tony Harrison. I think that's a decent fight if Tony Harrison can get his little stamina issues straightened out. I think he's a live dog in that fight if his stamina is somewhat on point. But that's a good fight there. I don't think he's gonna win, but it's a good fight there. And then the main event, the main event is the more interesting one because Jermall Charlo was slated to fight Willie Monroe Jr., right? And Willie Monroe Jr. Actually he got caught using some sort of PEDs, and he's not fighting, and he's been suspended and whatnot, so he's not fighting. And honestly, I'm not really mad about it because the fight would have been. It was so predictable. Like, Willie Monroe would have got iced by Jermall Charlo. He don't have that punching power, and we've seen Willie Monroe in every big fight he's had. You can go. I mean, I don't know if you go through his entire boxing career, every freaking fight he's had his entire career, dating back to if we could go back as early as Golovkin, from Golovkin to Saunders to all these different kinds of fighters. He just doesn't show up in big fights. In fact, many would argue in the Golovkin fight that he quit. Straight up. So he's not fighting, and he's failed a drug test, which was kind of surprising, being that Willie Monroe really doesn't have any sort of real punching power. But, it is what it is. He failed the drug test. It's boxing. But, yeah, like in his career, he got outboxed by Billy Joe, got stopped by Golovkin. He's gotten the wins. He's gotten the odd wins over, the likes of Gabe Rosado and the Brian Veras of the world. But when it came to stepping up to that next level, never really been that guy. So I really wasn't excited for a Jermall Charlo fight. I thought he would have got stopped within 5 rounds. But there is good news because now Jermall Charlo is fighting Matt Korobov. Yes, that Matt Korobov. The same Matt Korobov that 3 years ago lost to Andy Lee in a fight that many people expected him to win. There was a point in time, many of you may remember, for those of you who have really been up in your boxing these last couple of years, there was a point in time where Matt Korobov was looked at as like that guy at middleweight. He was supposed to be like the next big thing at middleweight, and he was such a fighter at the time. He was such a force at the time. Many people may forget this, but like Peter Quillen, when Peter Quillen was actually somewhat of a name in the division, Peter Quillen, who had the WBO belt, he vacated the belt to not fight Korobov. So this is a guy that was ducked. He was avoided. And when he lost to Andy Lee, he was ultimately, kind of thrown to the side and forgotten about for many years. And he's kind of been slowly just grinding his way back to relevancy over the last couple of years. Matthew Korobov, since losing to Andy Lee, he's had 4 fights, winning all 4 of them by decision. The most notable name of the 4 fights was when he defeated Brian Vera in June of 2016. And this is a big opportunity for him to kind of, he's 35 years old, so yeah, he's on the older side. But it's a chance for him to kind of capture what he probably feels. I would think he would feel he should have gotten years ago, and that would come in the form of a world title, because Peter Quillen vacated that belt, didn't fight him, and I would argue if he would have fought Peter Quillen, I would have probably favored him to win that fight. Probably would have beat Peter Quillen, but he fought Andy Lee in a fight that he wasn't supposed to lose. I believe on fight night he had to have outweighed Andy Lee for about a good 10 to 15 pounds. Lee was a massive underdog. He was getting outboxed the entire fight, and then boom, Andy Lee gets him out of there. Matthew Korobov's ascension to the top of the middleweight division is halted, and his boxing career is set back just altogether. So now he's fighting Jermall Charlo, a guy that Charlo is young. He's in his prime, and he's someone that a lot of people, when we talk about Jermall Charlo, when we talk about his career and who he's fought and who he hasn't fought, he really hasn't fought anybody of note outside of, I would say, Julian Williams. That's the best fighter he's fought is Julian Williams, and I give him full credit for that win because that was a fight, and that was a time in which a lot of people thought Julian Williams was going to be that next guy in the division, and he was outboxing Charlo, but Charlo showed amazing poise in that fight to just land that counter uppercut and get Julian Williams out of there. He's also beaten the likes of Austin Trout, so he's fought some good fighters, but I would say that, as since the Julian Williams fight, at least Matt Korobov is the best fighter that Charlo has fought. When we talk about Matthew Korobov, we're talking about a guy who has really good boxing skills, who's relatively explosive. I wouldn't say he's more explosive than Charlo, but he's a good athlete, relatively explosive. Had a decorated amateur career. In the amateurs, he was an Olympian in 2008. So he definitely knows what to do in that boxing ring, and I think Charlo is going to be in for a good fight. Like this actually this is one of those rare times in boxing where the replacement bout is actually better than the original bout that was scheduled, and I think there's definitely questions we got to ask of Willie Monroe in the snack program, because I'm not gonna use any names. I'm really not gonna use any names here, but there's someone that I don't want to say I know him, but I met him like once or twice, who knows Willie Monroe really well, and he would always talk about how Willie Monroe would say like, oh well, GGG had bricks in his glove, and GGG had this, and Triple G had the ring was small. But now we have to look at that as kind of like I look at that as projection, because Willie Monroe, you're out here failing drug tests, and you can't be failing drug tests if you're out here saying these guys are doing this and that, and this, that, and the third. So I ain't mad about it. Truthfully, nobody until now, nobody was really even talking about Jermall Charlo's fight this weekend, because there's already two big fights going on in the UK this weekend. We got White Chisora, we got Frampton versus Warrington, which is going to be a good unification fight itself. And then this one was kind of just like it played third fiddle to all those. But now that we got Matthew Korobov in the mix, it adds a little bit more interest to the fight, and I'm going to be tuning in. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Matthew Korobov versus Jermall Charlo. Is Matthew Korobov a live dog in this fight? I mean, I haven't seen him fight. To be honest with you, I haven't seen him fight since the end of the fight. I haven't watched any of his recent fights. But if he's anything close to what he used to be, he should be a live dog in this fight. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single one of these videos. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kicking dang. So until next time, take care, guys.